Well, this was unexpected. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chip Over the Top Rugby podcast. My name is Ryan. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. If you are new, make sure you give this video a subscribe and a thumbs up for me, because that will help me grow and that will help me reach more people. So I do very much appreciate it. So why is this happening right now? Why are we uploading a video on a Monday? Typically on a week like this, leading up to a game on Saturday, Wales playing Georgia, I would give my thoughts on what team I would like to see. But Warren Gatland, in a surprise sort of like public open training session, kind of revealed basically the starting lineup, and then they went on to have the press conference. So without further ado, let's just dive straight into the squad, starting with the forwards. Not really some major surprises, really. He's kept the nice continuity, threw in a couple of people here and there, and then on the bench done the exact same thing. So front row, Gareth Thomas. Derry Lake comes in to start and captain the squad this week, and Thomas Francis. So no change up front except Derry Lake. In the locks, Will Rowlands and Dav Jenkins. No Adam Beard. He's not in the squad at all. Probably much deserved rest. I do know he went home. I believe he had a daughter that was born on the weekend, so he was there for that, and he got back late Sunday, I believe, yesterday, and was training today, according to Wales Online, but left out of the squad, which gives Dav Jenkins a nice opportunity to come in and fight for a starting position going forward into the quarters. Back row, Aaron Wainwright, Tommy Raphael, and Talupi Faletau. No Jack Morgan. I'm guessing at the end of the day, he has played all the group games thus far. He was thrust into the Portugal game last minute instead of Raphael. So I'm guessing it's just an opportunity to rest up, let him have a break. He is Captain Magnificent after all. But yeah, just a little bit of rest. Let Tommy Raphael, who's fit and healthy, get back into that squad. And then moving on into the backs. No Gareth Davis starting, so it's Thomas Williams at 9. Gareth Anscombe retains his place at 10. Obviously, Dan Biggar still recovering from that injury. I was expecting maybe Sam Costello, but I guess from a continuity standpoint, we need Gareth Anscombe firing on all cylinders as well, just in case. And then centres, on the wing, Real Dyer on one, Lewis Rees-Zammit on the other. No Josh Adams, again, probably just a little bit of rest and recovery for him. In the centre, the same partnership that destroyed Australia, Nick Tompkins, George North. I was personally expecting maybe to see one of those switched out and have like either Johnny Williams play alongside George North, or have Mason Grady play alongside Nick Tompkins, just to kind of get that continuity, but also to have him fill in, have those players fill in the molds that are already there for them. And then at fullback, Liam Williams. No Halfpenny. I'm not entirely sure why. I thought this might be the game where we see Halfpenny feature, but all good. Replacements, Elliot D, Nicky Smith, and Henry Thomas. Chris Chizunza obviously going to be covering the lock position, but also, as we know, he can cover the back row. Tane Basham, nice to see him in the squad. And then for the backs covers, we have Gareth Davis, Sam Costello, and Mason Grady, which I think will be quite nice. And according to Joe Worsley, who is the Georgian attack coach, they've had a lot of injuries. So we're not entirely sure the Georgian side that's going to be put out, but they've had 3 players come into the squad who replaced those injured individuals. So yeah, no big surprises here really. Nice to see Derry Lake back in the squad. Obviously give Tommy Raphael an opportunity as well, with Jack Morgan just getting some rest. Real Dyer makes a start. And it'll be nice to see, I guess, Henry Thomas come off the bench again. Chris Chizunza, he needs to put his hand up again. And I'm looking forward to Mason Grady, as always, because he is an absolute epic player for the future, and it'll just be good to get him the opportunity to play alongside Nick Tompkins maybe, but we also know that he can cover the wing, so he's there to cover basically the entire back trio and centre if necessary. So that is the Wales v Georgia squad. Let me know your thoughts below. I think it's great. Personally, I like the continuity now going forward. We know what our starting 15 is. We know where we're strong at, and it's a case of being ruthless, I think, against Georgia. And this is testament, basically, that we're not letting this one just be like, okay, we can pick, make 13 changes, for example, and win. We want to put down a marker. We want to make sure that these players are firing on all cylinders and clicking. So it's nice to see a couple players dropped in here and there, but pretty much the same squad that took on Australia through and through, and hopefully they can put on an absolute clinic and performance just like they did against Australia. So we shall see. Anyway, in other news, speaking of Australia, Eddie Jones has been backed amongst all the controversy that has come his way recently in the press conferences. Rugby Australia announcing that they are backing him and supporting him, even through the controversy of possible Japan coaching opportunity interviews. We'll never know about those, to be honest, but which is good. I do want to see Eddie Jones. I want to see. I don't think the rugby world is good without underperforming Australia, for example. Like, it has to be, you want these teams to do well, right? You don't want to see them slump to like the bottom string or anything like that, or slip in the rankings. I mean, yeah, you want to keep them in the top 10 for obvious reasons, but like a strong Wallaby side is good for World Rugby. At the end of the day, it's good for the Rugby Championship, it's good for the World Cup, the Lions Tour, etc. as well. So, yeah, happy days, Australia holding on to Eddie Jones. In other news, the South African Mapimpi, the winger, had a very similar cheekbone fracture that Antoine Dupont suffered against Namibia, and they have ruled him out now for the rest of the tournament. That is Mapimpi, not Dupont, because he is back in training. But South Africa have called up Lucano Am in his stead, so he's brought into the squad. Antoine Dupont is back in training. Will he have a super mask to help his injury recovery? Probably. Time will tell, but it's good to get him back in training for the quarters at least. And then going back to the video that I uploaded recently in terms of just the professional game in Wales, a good result. Welsh women beating the US 38 points to 18 for the first time ever, which does go to show that the professional game of Welsh rugby for the women's side is growing massively, and those contracts, the professional contracts, absolutely helping that happen. And now they've obviously added 7 more, so that is great news for the Welsh women and rugby for women in general in Wales, but also around the world. As we know, in the pre-season friendlies, the 4 regions were taking part. Cardiff Rugby beating the Scarlets 21 points to 12. I've already discussed that. But then the Dragons beating the Ospreys 20 points to 19, which is happy days for them as well. And obviously this week we have Wales taking on Georgia on the 7th. But there is some local news back home, local rugby as well back home in pre-season friendlies, which is just a reverse kind of the fixtures that I just mentioned. Cardiff taking on the Ospreys and the Dragons taking on the Scarlets. That is the final pre-season friendly warm-up games for them before the URC starts later this month. So let me know your thoughts on the Welsh squad. Let me know just your thoughts in general on how rugby is at the moment for you. And yeah, I very much appreciate you watching this untimed. I honestly was going to upload my prediction on the Welsh squad for the Georgia game, but obviously Warren Gatland beat me to the punch. And so I had to switch things around a bit. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe for more. Diolch and Fawr. Thank you very much. I will catch you all very, very soon.